Good morning and welcome to Wednesday on Radio Row for Super Bowl 57. I'm Kayla Brad. I'm here with Roy Kessel and Anne Marie Crothman talking to you about Gen Youth. And look up on the screen if you're watching this, and you'll see the website genyouthnow.org putting on the great big taste of the NFL, which we're all looking forward to. Welcome, Anne Marie.
Well, thank you. And good morning, Kayla. Good morning, Roy.
Thank you for being here. I just want to start, first of all, what a beautiful, incredible event Taste of the NFL is. But I know that for many people, that's only a dream because those tickets are a little bit pricey. Do us a favor, Anne Marie, and tell us what is the Taste of NFL? Who can people expect to see and why should they go? Then we'll talk about why it was started.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, Taste of the NFL. It's actually celebrating its 32nd year. This is the third year that Gen Youth has been named the beneficiary of the event. Gen Youth is a national nonprofit dedicated to creating healthier school communities. But the Taste of the NFL is held annually the day before the Super Bowl, and it's really a celebration of food, football, and fun, but with purpose at its core. All funds generated through the Taste of the NFL come back to Gen Youth to help end student hunger. So here in Phoenix, on Saturday, February 11th, we'll be hosting the event at the Chateau Luxe. It's from 4 to 8 p.m. We have over 30 chefs joining us who will be making delicious recipes for all guests to enjoy and taste. And then we'll have over 30 football players and legends from the NFL who will be signing autographs, mingling with guests, talking about their Super Bowl picks. So it's just a great day and a great way to celebrate the festivities of the Super Bowl, the great flavors in the community and in the area, while supporting a cause of ending student hunger. Funds generated that come to Gen Youth are then granted to schools here in Arizona, but through all 32 club markets across the country to help increase access to and participation in school breakfast, since over 30 million children rely on school meals in this country for a significant portion of their daily nutrition. And for some, it's the only healthy meal they get on some days.
So I got to tell you, last year, Anders Zimmern was out there with the Madras seasoning, right? And I want to have a lower sodium household. I'm a mom with 8 kids living in Milwaukee. 24% of the kids in Milwaukee live in poverty. It's important to me to feed kids well. The number one spice in the Bradham household is Andrew Zimmern's Madras seasoning.
He'll be
So
glad to hear
where would
that.
we have
Yes.
gotten that if it wasn't for Taste of the NFL?
Right, right. And Andrew's back again this year, which you may be aware. He's joining us again. He's just a big proponent of the cause. In addition to that, we have Carla Hall, who's a TV celebrity chef personality. Andrew's, as I mentioned, will be there. And then Tim Love from Texas. He's known for his urban Western cuisine. We also have Lashita Perry, otherwise known as the Queen of Flavor. She's an excellent pastry chef. And then Mark Bucher from Washington, D.C., who's known for his steaks and burgers. They are outstanding. So we have those 5 marquee chefs who will be leading the event. And Taste of the NFL is presented by PepsiCo's Frito-Lay, Quaker, and the PepsiCo Foundation. And you'll see some recipes even with some of those ingredients included as well.
It's an
I
amazing
love
event
it.
when you look at the scale, right? I think one of the things that's great about Taste of the NFL is we see traditionally in sports, right, a lot of the sort of concession stand type of food, and this is really such a different magnitude of event with these creative chefs and having the stations. Um, Hearing the description of what this year's event is going to be like at the Chateau, it's reminds me of the event in Miami where they had all of the elegant stations and Hall of Fame players from every city and dishes that were connected to that city's cuisine. You know, what really touches Kayla and I when we talk about this event, as you said, is that food insecurity type of element and the fact that you're really working to provide that nourishment and food that so many kids weren't able to get during COVID because the schools weren't open. Um, and I'd love to hear a little bit more, about the plans. You talked about this going on in each of the NFL markets, how that plan works for the distribution of the funds and the food.
Yeah, absolutely. Gen Youth has a phenomenal grant infrastructure that allows school nutrition directors and others across the country to apply for grants through our website. Um, and it's genyouthnow.org. I think it's up on the screen. And we will be opening up the applications for these grants in March. And the funds raised through Taste of the NFL, in addition to other partner donations that we've received during this time, will be available to grant to schools. So school nutrition professionals can go online, apply for the grants. They'll be eligible for one of three packages. And really, these packages are geared to help increase access to and participation in school meals. For example, one of the packages is a grab and go breakfast equipment. So it's a rolling cart. And we find that really many children don't go to the cafeteria for breakfast in the morning. In fact, the participation in school breakfast is about half of what it is for school lunch. And there's a few hurdles that come into play. One is the time. They have to rely on bus schedules that will get them to the school early enough to get to the cafeteria, get their meal, sit down and eat it in the cafeteria before they get to their classroom, which is often a challenge. And then secondly, there's often a stigma associated with eating breakfast in the cafeteria. And many children, sadly, will forgo a morning meal because they don't want their friends to think that they're eating breakfast at school because they weren't able to get a healthy breakfast at home. So these grab and go meal equipment packages are really the gold standard of what eliminates those hurdles, makes the breakfast available right where kids are walking into the building, coming off the bus. They meet the school nutrition standards, so they're getting milk, whole grains, fruit, and able to take that on the go with them. Many are able to eat it in the classroom or eat it in a common area before they get into the classroom. We've been doing this work for many, many years, and we see that it increases participation by up to 27%, which is significant growth in the school nutrition business.
So I have to ask you a question. You came in as the CEO of Gen Youth about 6 months ago, but you've been involved in this program for like what, 10 years?
Yes, yes. I was serving as the president and the chief wellness officer for Gen Youth prior to being named CEO in July of 2022. I'm a registered dietitian, and really, this runs in my DNA, and part of my core is helping nourish children, ensuring children have healthy foods that are accessible and available, and knowing that school meals are a lifeline for over 30 million children in this country. I'm just a real passionate believer in our work, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to lead this organization forward and to continue to help children access those meals, support school nutrition programs. Like many of us in this country, we're seeing prices increase for food. We're seeing supply chain challenges. There's labor shortages, and school nutrition teams are facing these exact same challenges. So they really need our help more than ever. And there's more and more families that need the support of the school system in terms of meals for their children. So I'm a believer in our work, and we've got great supporters. As I mentioned before, for Taste of the NFL, our presenting sponsors are Quaker, Frito-Lay, and the PepsiCo Foundation. Our organization was actually founded by America's dairy farmers, and they continue to be ongoing diligent supporters of our work, in addition to the NFL and many other organizations. So if anyone listening is interested in learning more about our work or helping to support school nutrition across the country, please visit our website, www.genyouthnow.org, and there's much more information on our website.
I want to say thank you so much. As a little girl growing up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin,
Oh,
to a single
awesome.
mom with 8 kids living in Milwaukee, understanding the real true impact that Gen Youth has on the school system. We need to break away the stigma. There's no shame in the game. Every person who qualifies for food assistance, their tax dollars from their previous jobs are paying for that. So let's break away the stigma. Let's say that it's okay. Every one of us at some point or another will probably go through a difficult financial period in our lives. Let's be open. Let's be accepting. I want to put two things up on the video before we close, if you don't mind, Anne Marie. The
Sure.
first one I'm going to do is the Taste of the NFL. So if you just remind everybody when it is, how they can get tickets, and how they can show their support.
Great. It's you can get tickets at www.tasteofthenfl.com. They are on sale now. The event is this Saturday in Phoenix at the Chateau Lux from 4 to 8 p.m. You'll get to sample delicious recipes from over 30 chefs. You'll get to meet and greet over 30 NFL players and legends. And again, it's all about fun and football with purpose at its core. Revenue generated will come back to Gen Youth to help end student hunger.
And that was the second one. Let's shout out Gen Youth and how people can get involved.
Terrific. Our website is www.genyouth.org. I'm sorry, genyouthnow.org. And you can go to our website if you'd like to donate. We'd appreciate any type of support you'd like to give. There's more information about school nutrition programs. We also support physical activity for youth in schools, and there's a lot of resources there.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on with us. We know you have a really hectic schedule. I want to shout out one of the sponsors. One of my favorite drinks is a PepsiCo product with Diet Mountain Dew, and I do my part to give back as much as possible through the Diet Mountain Dew world. And before you sign off, I'd love to hear one last thing from you in terms of your vision here for the next few years as you take over. I know you've got limited time, and we appreciate that insight into what you're doing with Gen Youth.
Yes, we do assess, and we have a really close pulse on youth. We do youth insights, so we know where youth minds are, and we also do great work assessing with the school environment. We work with School Nutrition Association, the Professional Association for Physical Education Teachers. So we're constantly assessing the environment and how we can best help schools to create healthier school communities. Right now, the priority is food, nutrition, and overcoming hunger by supporting school nutrition programs. We also know that children are not getting enough physical activity, particularly girls who drop out of sport at twice the rate of boys by the time they're 13. So we do offer physical activity equipment for physical education programs across the country. So that's really, we're staying the course on that, but we do keep a close pulse. We listen closely, and the world's changing daily. So we will pivot as needed to support schools, but they're doing outstanding efforts. And without the school community support, children would not be, as well, really future ready as they are.
Terrific. Well, Anne Marie, we appreciate you taking the time to jump on with us. For all our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for joining the Sports Philanthropy Network live from Radio Row at Super Bowl 57 in the Phoenix Convention Center. Please remember to live generously. Thank you.
Thank you.